Are you losing your mind because you've got a presentation that's due and you just don't know how to make this poster thing happen? Relax, welcome to Powerful Project Posters Part 2, a teacher helper video by Ashley Marshall. In this video, you're going to learn how to make a great poster, how to use images well, and how to add text effectively. Let's pretend that you had to do a presentation about the Obama family, specifically the White House years and how life in the White House changed their family or how they were able to remain the same. You're going to need some supplies. Let's start with some construction paper. Maybe you have some poster board as well. What's important here though is that you have some contrasting colors. You're also going to need some of these things. Definitely a ruler to make sure that you measure things effectively, some scissors, some glue sticks, and inking shears. We'll talk about those later as well. Now, there are certain rules to creating a poster. The first and most important thing is that content comes first. Forget about having a nice poster if you don't have a great project. So you need to make sure that you actually have something to talk about and something to present. Secondly, you want to select your images carefully. Don't be lazy. Don't just grab any image off the internet that has a watermark like this one. You don't want Bob Sugar 222 2007 across your pictures. Finding the right pictures may take a little time, and you may need to do a fairly deep search to find the pictures that you want. Lastly, you need to plan, replan, and plan again. Making a poster is not a matter of just slapping things on a background. It takes a lot of planning. If you remember nothing from this video, just remember, don't glue anything until you're 100% certain that it is where it needs to be. Now, we've got some pictures that I pulled together. These ones are black and white because I don't have a lot of color toner. For this particular poster, I decided to spend a little bit of money, about $2.50, to print up some images in color. Obviously, color images look a lot better. When you put your images up on Microsoft Word or whatever program you happen to be using, make sure that you leave yourself enough space between the pictures so that you can cut a nice border. I've deliberately not done that here so that you can see that with these two images there's not a lot of space in between. You want to avoid doing that and give yourself about this much space here. I've also gone and printed up some other things that I'm going to need. You can see in the top left there's some titles that I'm going to use in my poster, and on the right there's some adjectives that I'm going to use in and around my poster to sort of add a little bit of life to it. Any sort of text that you're going to be using, you're going to want to have it printed up beforehand. I've also included my name here because personally my handwriting isn't very nice, and rather than scribbling my name in the bottom corner, I'd like to have it printed looking nice and neat. And lastly, you don't have to waste a lot of paper. You'll note that these adjectives that I've printed up are actually on recycled paper. Now let's talk about contrast. You could see that these black and white photos and black and white text on a white background don't show up really well. But if we add just a little bit of construction paper, already these things are starting to pop out a little bit from our background. If we add color photos and a little bit more construction paper, we could see that things are really starting to come to life. But because we didn't glue things down, we can actually move them around and try a different layout altogether. Why don't we try vertical or portrait orientation? We might come up with something like this, and then add in our adjectives, and it looks like this. Pretty good. But I personally want to go with horizontal or landscape orientation, so let's try this. Hey, that's pretty good. I kind of like this. Let's look at each area close up. You'll note specifically that I have deliberately included a white border around each of the photos to give them a little bit of impact when I put them against any sort of colored background. But I think we can improve this even more. I'm going to take the pink paper from the background and do something really cool with it. Look at this. I've cut up the pink paper and now I've made backgrounds for different elements in the picture. Look how they just pop off of the screen. You could tell here that the word private sticks out more than the word classy because of the pink background. Same also, this photo in the middle with the pink background sticks out a little bit more than the one in the top right that does not have a pink background. And even the black and white photos look a little better with a little bit of color. You'll also note that I've taken scraps of pink paper that were left over from my cutting and I've added them in to give a little bit of design and a little bit of extra color. Here's this entire thing up close. it looks great. And you'll note that my name is on the very bottom. I didn't give myself a background because I really don't want my name to stick out, but I've included it in there so people know whose poster this is. So we've got a good looking poster, but remember, I haven't glued anything down, and in fact, I'm kind of thinking I want to change it just a little bit. It's looking a little bit too crowded for me, so let's remove some stuff. Ah, I like that better. It's not as crowded, and now you can see more of the purple background. I think it has an even better impact visually. I've also gone for complete balance by changing these two photos. So I have pink backgrounds in the top right, and I have photos in the bottom middle without a pink background at all. Here it is up close. Nice. And oh yes, the pinking shears that we talked about earlier on. This nice scalloped edging that you see here is courtesy of the pinking shears. You can use these or any other scrapbooking supplies to add great visual effect to your posters. Well, what about glue? Well, yes, this is probably the time that you could start gluing things on, when you have all the elements in place and you like what you see. But what about transportation? How am I supposed to get my poster to where it needs to go for my presentation? Well, if you don't want to use the old garbage bag solution, you might want to invest in one of these. This particular one costs $3 at my local dollar store, and it's a document case for carrying any sort of documents that you want to keep dry and that you want to transport safely. In this video, we've shown you how to make a great poster, we've used images well, and we've used text effectively. If you want to know how to use images, text, or even the note field in Microsoft PowerPoint, you should check out Effective PowerPoint Presentations, another teacher helper series by Ashley Marshall. Ooh, a subscribe button, a Facebook button. Ooh, go on, click. You know you want to. They're right there. You can do it. I believe in you. Click.